Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we untangle the complex world of business. One filing at a time, this week we're looking at a company that is giving us a peek behind the curtain. And let's just say things are looking pretty interesting for the third quarter. Alright, so we're diving into Inter & Co. Incorporated's latest report, specifically focusing on their third quarter earnings. This document acts like a quarterly update for investors, showing how the company has been doing financially. Think of it as a progress report for the 9 months of the year leading up to September, even though this filing is coming out a bit later in November. So, who is Inter & Co. Incorporated? They are a company that operates in the financial world, and they are based in Brazil. This report is for foreign private issuers, meaning it is a company based outside the United States that still files with the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. Now, the really juicy stuff, the financial details. When we look at these earnings releases and presentations, we're trying to understand if the company is making more money, spending less, and if its overall health is improving. For Inter & Co. Incorporated in the third quarter of 2025, we're seeing a picture that tells a story of growth, but like any story, there are nuances. In terms of the overall filing, the date of the 13th of November 2025 tells us this report covers information up to that point. It is important to note that this particular filing is simply supplying information or documents that are not already public. Essentially, they are saying, here is what we are releasing, and it is new information for the public. Let's talk about what this means practically. For a company like Inter & Co. Incorporated, which deals with financial services, understanding their performance means looking at their revenue and how efficiently they are managing their operations. Are they attracting more clients? Are their investments paying off? These are the kind of questions we want answers to. While this specific filing doesn't contain detailed financial tables within the text itself, it points us to two crucial documents, the earnings release and the earnings presentation. These are where we get the numbers. The earnings release is the official announcement, and the presentation often breaks down the key figures in a more digestible, visual way. Think of it this way: if a company's revenue is like the total amount of cash it brings in from selling its services or products, then growth in this area is generally a good sign. It means more people are using what they offer. But we also need to look at costs. If revenue goes up but costs go up even more, then the company isn't actually becoming more profitable. In the context of Inter & Co. Incorporated, we would want to see if their revenue streams are diversified or if they heavily rely on one particular service. We'd also want to know about their expenses. Are they spending more on growth initiatives like marketing or new technology, or are costs increasing due to inefficiencies? This is what the earnings release and presentation would typically reveal. For instance, if we saw a 20% increase in revenue, that is not just a number. It could mean they've successfully captured a larger market share or perhaps launched a very popular new product or service that resonated with customers. On the flip side, if costs have also risen significantly, we'd need to understand why. Is it a temporary investment in future growth? Or is it a sign that their current business model is becoming more expensive to run? Now, looking at Inter & Co. Incorporated's situation in the broader financial landscape, especially within Brazil, we'd consider factors like the country's economic climate. A growing economy usually benefits financial firms, as people and businesses are more likely to invest and borrow. Conversely, economic downturns can significantly impact profitability. This filing is essentially a confirmation that they are indeed releasing their third quarter results. The big question for investors and observers is always what those results actually say about the company's future prospects. Are they on a strong upward trajectory, or are there underlying issues that might affect them down the line? We look for positive trends in their customer base, their service offerings, and their management of financial resources. The fact that they are filing this with the SEC also implies they are looking to maintain or increase their visibility and access to capital markets. This is often a strategic move to support further expansion or to reassure existing investors about their financial standing. Therefore, while this particular document is somewhat of a placeholder, it directs interested parties to the actual performance data. The story within the earnings release and presentation would be about how Inter & Co. Incorporated navigated the third quarter of 2025, what challenges they faced, and what opportunities they capitalized on. Now, looking at these results more broadly, Inter & Co. Incorporated, based on their filing, appears to be actively communicating its financial performance. The main takeaway here is that they are providing an update on their third quarter operations. Without the specifics from the earnings report itself, it is hard to make a definitive judgment on their core strength or weaknesses. However, the act of providing these updates is a sign of transparency, which is generally a positive attribute. A notable risk for any financial institution, especially one operating in a developing market like Brazil, is regulatory changes and economic volatility. These can significantly affect profitability and operational stability. Opportunities likely lie in expanding their service offerings, leveraging technology for greater efficiency, and tapping into new customer segments. The real test, however, will be in the details of their performance metrics, which are found in the exhibits referenced here. In conclusion, this filing serves as a notification that Inter & Co. Incorporated's third quarter financial results are now available. The true story will unfold when we examine the earnings release and presentation, revealing their financial health, strategic execution, and future outlook. Alright, that is our quick look at this Inter & Co. Incorporated filing. What are your thoughts on what this means for the company heading into the end of the year? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings, and join our Discord community linked in the description for more discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.